Welcome to Community Conversations. I'm your host, Steve Mantis, and my guest today is Frank Pullia, City Councillor with the City of Thunder Bay. Welcome, Frank.
Pleasure being here, and thank you, Stephen. It's always great to connect, and having this community conversation is a great opportunity to really talk with the community as well as talking to you.
Well, we've gone back many years. We were just saying it's almost 30 years we've known each other, and I just kind of learned something new earlier. Was you're a part-time city councillor, part-time, with a modest honorarium. It's not even a pay, but you're like a full-time worker for the city, and for the you're almost like a volunteer working for the city. Like, I have to congratulate you on that.
Well, we got to put that into context in terms of the nature of our job and how it's been changing over the years. In the past, city councillor would be focused on, snow removal, garbage pickup, fixing the roads, keeping taxes low. Now we're also dealing with a host of socioeconomic, environmental issues that really determine to a large extent the quality of life that we have. Mm-hmm. So our mandate has changed. And when I was saying, you were asking me, how many hours do you put in, per week? Well, some weeks, I think just to read the reports and prepare for our meetings on Monday night, and also committee meetings, mm-hmm. a minimum of 25 hours a week just to be there prepared. And also, but remember, there are all kinds of other committees we sit on.
That's right.
And also we have to respond to people's inquiries. There's that part of representation. Someone is having a problem with their ditch or the water or whatever, garbage or any kind of problem they're facing, they phone us. And just to follow up and emails, phone calls, going on site, learning about the problem, and properly represent our constituency adds a whole new element mm-hmm. to how many hours per week. Then there really is no limit. There isn't enough hours in the day to do it all. It's up to each councillor how much they want to be involved. Some will spend 70 hours a week. Some will do their 20, 30, 40 hours a week. So it ranges. But as long as you're believing and you're committed, then really it's fine. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I love, representing the people of Thunder Bay at that level, and it's good.
And I've had a number of the councillors on over the last few months, and one of the issues that comes up over and over is kind of the downloading of responsibility from the federal government to the provincial, and the provincial to the municipal. So, as you mentioned, things have changed over time. The municipal government now is responsible for more things, and maybe affects regular people more than the other levels of government. But you, as an elected member of City Council, have a very modest salary. If you go on the provincial, not only do they have a salary, but they have 4 or 5 people helping them, full-time staff working for them. How many full-time staff do you have working for you?
Well, we have support at the city clerk's office. We have committee coordinators and city clerk support. I found that the technology that we use today really comes in handy. For example, if you have a question to me and you have a problem around your house, whatever problem, you give me the information, and you can send me an email, and then I can forward it through a councillor inquiry directly mm-hmm. to the city clerk support office, and then they will send it to the appropriate department mm-hmm. for a response and follow up. So that works really well, a lot better than in the past when we didn't have the smartphones, and I would go home and find the 25 voice messages that I had to respond to, right. Call back, and then you end up talking about all kinds of other things. And then 2-3 hours go late into the night. So now with the technology, it enables us to do a better job in representing the people of Thunder Bay.
So you were on the show maybe a year or a bit ago. So how about a little progress report? How's it been going over the last year or so at City Council and in the larger community, really?
I appreciate the opportunity to inform our community about what's been happening at City Hall. I had 2 town hall meetings. I call it bringing City Hall to the people. I believe in that kind of representation, that it's not sufficient for people to reach out to us. Not everybody's as comfortable as others to come in front of City Hall, City Council and making a deputation.
Yep.
So the town hall meeting concept and a two-way conversation enables us to learn more from the front lines, from the people that we represent, what is important to them. And enables us, me as a representative, to answer many of those questions on the spot with resources of, that we have from city administration and management. So we can take care of a lot of issues, and people in the audience can also learn about other things that are going on, over and above what is important to them. So we had 2 of those. It's working well. I'm having very good feedback, and there'll be more coming. I'm going to have at least 2 more, 2 per year as a minimum, maybe 3.
And how long would they take? Like 2 or 3 hours, is it? And
It's
how
about
many
3
people
hours,
come?
yes. I do a presentation for about half an hour here, what I think it's important, put things in context. Here's my progress report, and then we open it up for question and answers, and usually we go for about an hour and a half Q&A, and by then, we have covered like 30, 40 questions.
Right. And so how many people have come out to the last?
The first one, we had around 80 people. Second one, about 50. So unless there is a specific topic that captures people's attention, 50 people to 80 people is a good turnout.
Yep.
If there was a compelling issue, a compelling problem, then in the future I will have a more specific issue to cover, and maybe we can expect more people when there is like the next one I want to have later on in the fall will be about growing Thunder Bay. I believe that given our projection of population basically stable, but that's not just a problem. The problem is more in the dependency ratio, the ratio of number of people working compared to those retiring. That
You mean like
have,
me?
that can have a drastic effect on our quality of life unless we take action now to make sure that we have a healthy growth, and we need to plan for that growth. I call it smart growth. Be smart about it. It's not growth for the sake of growth. It's specific growth oriented to filling the gaps in terms of what the employer's needs for skilled labor, or about attracting young professionals with young families that can rebalance that equation so that we can have a healthy, sustainable community for the foreseeable future. So we're already putting our minds together with a range of other community partners that would be involved in the town hall, because it's not just the city with a silver bullet that can solve these emerging problems. We need the collaboration of our strategic community partners, like the Chamber of Commerce, that is now on a much better terms with City Council. If you remember in the past, they commissioned a study that was looking at the trends, and they had a concern about taxation, and they had a concern that everything else being equal, that trend was on the way up. So they went public with it, and for a while it was a bit tense with the Chamber of Commerce, but now I can tell you that they are working with us in great cooperation. Actually, at the last budget meeting, they actually congratulated the city for moving in the right direction. So that's quite a positive change in less than 2 years.
Frank, we need to take a short break.
Yeah.
Please stay with us. We'll be right back, and we'll find a little bit more insider info into City Council and City Hall.